Hey guys, it's Luke. Welcome back to NLWI. Actually just making some tutorials for you guys. This is the second one for you. It's going to talk a little bit about how Texas Holdem works, okay? This is again for our new members and a little brush up. Hopefully this helps out a little bit. I'm not going to show you the hands per se in person or on a table. I'm making this video assuming that you kind of checked out our site. Again, that's NLWI.com if you're not there already, okay? So, first of all, when you hear people talk about Texas Holdem, they talk about flop, turn, river, right? So you're thinking, I have no idea what that is, and I see people with two cards, what does this all mean? So, first thing, don't worry about it. They're just terms for the way that the order of the game goes, okay? So, first of all, what's going to happen, I'm going to give you an example with two players, okay? If you kind of observe the table in our poker room, which all you have to do is find, when there's people in there, you just find, you know, where they're sitting at one of the tournaments, and you can actually observe that table, okay? So if you do that a couple times, you'll actually get everything that I'm talking about. It'll make more sense, okay? So what you'll see is when the hands are being dealt, you get dealt two cards, alright? So these are your in the hole cards, so you don't want to show your opponents this. These are going to be your cards that you're going to work with the flop, turn, and river, okay? So that's how you're going to make your 5-card poker hand, and that was in our previous video with poker hands and what the orders were and things like that, okay? So with that being said, let's say for example if we have two people and we both get dealt the cards, so we got two players, right? So we both get dealt our two cards, so we have our two cards here, and we're waiting for the flop. So the first thing that once everybody gets their cards, whether you have 9 people or 2, but we're going to actually use the 2 people person example, once you get your 2 cards in the hole, okay, so you take a look and you decide if you're going to play. That's when the betting and stuff comes in, and I'll go over that with the next video. I just want to kind of take this step by step for you guys, so that you can kind of catch on real quick and get in there and start playing with us. So anyway, so we both have our cards. We have our 2 in the hole cards, and assume that we're going to both play, okay? So now we have to wait for the dealer. The dealer is going to take 3 cards out of the deck, and then he's going to actually flip over 3 cards, alright? So 3 cards are going to be set on the middle of the table, and then what you're going to do is you're going to look at your 2 cards in your hand that you have, and then you're going to go off of the poker hands and see if you can make a poker hand out of those 5 cards, alright? So again, if you haven't checked out the poker hands, the orders of poker hands and how they work, that's going to be a previous video that we have, okay? So check that out. This is going to make you decide if you want to keep playing into the next turn, or the next step of the game or the process. So what's going to happen is they're going to the dealer's going to flip over 1 more card if you decide to play. Again, that gets into betting, and we'll actually go through that in the next video. But let's just assume that you both are playing, and then the dealer flips over another card. Okay, so he's flipping over the turn card. So it goes flop is 3 cards. The next card is the turn card. So that's what we're going to play. Now I have 4 cards down in the middle, or the community, that we can all use, that are all the players that you're playing against are using, and you're trying to beat them out with the 2 cards that you have in your hand. Okay? So now you have a total of 6 cards. So you have 4 community cards, and then you have 2 cards in your hand, right? Poker hands, 5 cards. So now we have an extra option, basically. So we're going to take our 2 cards, and then we're going to actually find the best 3 cards that we have out there to make the best hand that we possibly can. Okay? Hopefully I'm not losing any of you guys. Just make sure that you have 5 cards at all time. Okay? So I'm trying to make the best hand out of 5 cards that you have. The best 5 cards, okay? Then the next card, let's assume again that you are going to go ahead and play and see the last card, which is called the River. The River card is a card that can either help you or make it where you lose. And I would like to say other words, but that's okay. You'll actually, once you start playing and stuff, you'll see that the River can really, or the last card, the last community card, will actually decide some things for you if you bet the wrong way and things like that. So, but again, let's just assume that we're playing for that last card. We get to see the last card, which is the River. So again, 5 cards, poker hand. Now in our community, we have 3 cards that are called the flop again. We have the turn card, and now we have the River. So we actually have 5 cards there. Alright? So what we're going to do is we have our 2 cards in our hand, and we're going to take the best 3 cards and the 2 cards that we have in our hand, and we're going to call that our hand, okay? So hopefully, like we talked in the previous video, hopefully you get a royal flush and you can take your opponents out and be all excited. So again, feel free to shoot me a message or something when you get one, because I love seeing it. Again, like I said, I only had a couple, so hopefully you have better luck than me. So but again, if I look at these cards here that I did just for fun, you can't see them here yet, but I have 5 cards down, and the only thing that I have, including my 2 cards, is a pair of aces. So out of 7 cards total, so the 5 community cards, and then my cards, so the 2 cards, I only have a pair of aces. So don't get too flustered about it. You'll catch on a little bit more once we talk about the raising and all the betting and stuff like that. But really, I just wanted to do the basics with you guys and make sure you understand at least what the flop, turn, and river are, and how it works, so that you guys can, you know, when we start talking about it, when you're in the poker room and stuff like that, you kind of know what's going on a little bit. And if you haven't seen that poker hands, or how the poker hands work video that I did, you should really take a look at that. That'll actually help you out. And again, these are for review. We've had members ask about, you know, tutorials and things like that, so I just figured I'd sit down and make one real quick for you guys. So with that being said, we'll see you in the poker room. If you got any questions, feel free to get a hold of us, either at the site, or you can shoot me an email. It's NLWI@gmail.com. If you have any questions on the tournaments, feel free to shoot Doug an email. He's the tournament director, and that's NoLimitWI2@gmail.com. Alright, so we'll see you soon, guys. Next video I'm going to be making is how betting works. So we'll take everything that we just learned and put that all into one. Alright, we'll see you soon. See you in the poker room, guys.